It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Listening to a Road to World Cup 26 podcast.
I'm going to miss that music, Nick. I'm going to miss that music. I really like that music now.
Yeah. Well, good. It's only taken a year and a bit. Mind you, not that long, because it's a newish thing, wasn't it? We got it at the turn of the year. Right, listen, it is the 6th of July. When we recorded yesterday, the 5th of July, we were unaware that in a few hours' time, we were about to witness one of the greatest games of World Cup football, certainly this World Cup, certainly last World Cup, and probably for some time.
A lot has happened. A lot has happened.
And
did we record after Brazil, Mexico, or no, Brazil,
Norway? No. Before that, it's before that. Wow. We didn't know what's going to happen, but also we didn't know that there was going to be a major news story breaking, which I don't know, because they're so Teflon-y, these people, that it might just bring down the head of FIFA. We don't know. Probably not, because he won't admit to anything and there's nobody challenging him and all of that kind of stuff. But so major news story there, but only one place to start. Only one place to start, and that is England versus Mexico. Now, we've talked about this a lot. Everybody's been talking about the altitude that England had to play at. They were talking about the fanatical Mexican crowd, and it was fanatical, by the way. I haven't heard noise like that in a stadium
since Derby County beat Reading, wasn't
it? Since, I was going to say, pre-season friendly last year. No, I don't think I ever have. And I've been even the noise coming out of the telly, I couldn't remember when I've heard noise like that in a stadium. I will have done, because I've been going to football.
Argentina 78 was similar.
Yeah, but I was very, very young. You probably remember that because you were just retiring, so you had more time to watch telly.
Yeah, I remember coming back from work and watching it.
Yeah. So this is a bit of a bonus episode, because we weren't planning on recording till Wednesday night, but as wrap up as we headed into the quarterfinals. But we couldn't not talk about England Mexico. What a game! What a game!
Are Mexico, you going to give me some credit for absolutely nailing what was going to happen?
No, because you said it'd be 3-1. But yeah.
Absolutely nailed it. We said
you did
exactly what happened.
You got it right. So,
keep them out for the first quarter. Tick. Start playing after that. Tick. We'll score 3 goals. Tick. I mean,
we'll only let in 1.
Yeah, okay, cross. But hey, if Kane hadn't committed a penalty, it would have been 3-1. Hey, it was a fantastic performance. England, it was the kind of performance I thought might be in the England team, but I wasn't confident was. And it was. And it was, made you the hairs bristle on the back of your hairs, didn't it? It was really, dogged, defensive, kind of, sticking it out, diving in the way of the ball. I mean, it's wonderful.
When we spoke about it yesterday, and you said to me, "Do you think we'll win?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't know," because I said, if the England that's been playing so far in this tournament turns up, we won't. But if an England that we know how it can be does, then we'll win. But that was even better than I ever imagined my version of an England can be, because it had everything in it from a performance. It had a really, really masterclass of tactics by Tuchel, who kind of changed his tactics I hate what I'm about to say, but every quarter, every sort of first 20 minutes was different tactics. Second 25 minutes and a half was different tactics. After half time was different, and then the last 20 minutes, which
that makes him a tactical genius. He outthought his opponent. Not only did we win on the pitch, we won off the pitch.
And you know what? If you're wondering, because I know we've got a lot of listeners in America, if you're wondering why this excites us so much, it's because we're not used to this. We're not used to a manager out-thinking tactically his opponent during a game. It's not something that England managers...
Southgate would never have done that. Southgate would have lost that game.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. And we were all really pleased. I know you and I were very pleased when Tuchel got the job because we know he's a brilliant coach. There was a lot of opposition in the UK for people who only wanted an England manager managing an English team. You know, those days are gone. That's a very outdated historical view in modern global football. But it was the first sign this World Cup, so therefore the first time we've seen under Tuchel, because he's new, that he can manipulate games in such a way. Unbelievable. It was just so impressive.
It was very, very impressive. And I like Tuchel's ruthlessness. Tuchel is ruthless, and he's ruthless with the players. And if the players aren't delivering, sorry, I know someone who will, or I know someone who I'm going to prepare to give a chance to see if they can. At the moment, I'm very high on Tuchel. I think he could be, the manager that wins the World Cup for England.
He could be. I don't want to get too carried away.
No, but who do you fear after that? Who do you fear after that?
Only France. I don't fear Norway, by the way. I think we'll beat Norway. I thought they were impressive against Brazil, but Brazil were poor. Brazil was shocking, and Norway were good. But
we should go into have a bit of a detailed discussion about that game as well, because Brazil have been poor all the way through, haven't they? And at half time on that game, I thought they're not great, but they're just doing enough. They're kind of in control. I don't think they're going to concede. And then, of course,
you can never ever say that when the opposition's got Erling Haaland.
Haaland was amazing.
Brilliant. We'll come to that in just a minute. Let's just finish off or focus on England for a moment, or not just England, but Mexico as well, because I thought Mexico were terrific, and I thought they more than played their part in a great game, and I thought their fans were unbelievably good. I mean, the noise they were making and the support they gave their team all the way through, even when they were losing for, pretty much all game. They were never ahead, put it like that. And even after the game, the fans were amazing. But England, we saw that change of, as you said, and you called it quite right, just contain for the first 20 minutes. After the water break, right, okay, we've done that bit. Let's get on the offensive a bit and press a little bit higher.
Exactly right.
And having got that, I mean, the first goal, which was a back to front goal, because it came from
Rice did a great job.
Yeah, roll out from Pickford in goal to Rice, who stormed up the pitch, unopposed, it's worth saying, in case you're wondering what happened to the Mexico defence. But did a brilliant job. Then fed Saka, he crossed. Every kind of pins on Kane, and Bellingham's there diving in pretty much unmarked on the far post. And then what England did so well is that from the kickoff, we just didn't let them settle.
No, pressed again.
And we pressed really high. Great play from Anthony Gordon, who I thought had a terrific game. By far his best game in an England shirt. By far. There's nothing he's ever done.
Well, it worked. The big difference was that Saka worked, Gordon worked.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Gordon wins the ball. And then as it gets fed into Kane, everybody thinks he's going to shoot, and he just squares it, and Bellingham's running in and puts it in. I mean, two very, very well worked, very good goals in the space of 90 seconds. And you think, right, okay, fine, that's it. But what I loved about Mexico and what I've loved about them all the way through this tournament is that they just play on the front foot. And it's almost like, we're not going to let this worry us. We're just going to keep playing what we're doing. And they got a very good goal, terrific finish just before half time. And thinking, if you can get to half time at 2-0.
Well, the next goal, it's always 2-0. It's the next goal, isn't it? Wins the game, really. Or next goal. I mean, if you get 3-0, then it's all over. Big shout out, Jordan Pickford. Pickford was immense, I thought.
He was. And we've talked about Pickford, and we've talked about him during this competition. I asked you the question after was it the Ghana game? Should he be dropped for the Panama game because he had looked shaky along with the rest of the defence? And you said, quite rightly, by the way, no, he's our best keeper. And we kind of talked about the fact that he likes to be kept busy, and he's always better in a game where it's better opposition that are testing him. And he pulled off 2 or 3 really good saves yesterday.
England are better when they're playing a better team.
Yeah. And then really we had the chaos. We thought, well, 2-1, it's all, let's just calm down at half time. But if anything, the second half just cranked it up. We had Gerald Quanshaw sent off, and I don't think anybody's going to argue with that red card, are they? I mean,
it was a red card.
It was a red card, no argument about that. It wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional.
It was a very silly tackle.
he got the ball, but his foot, rather than
do you reckon that was
the
just
ball,
lack of playing time?
went over the top. No, I just think he mistimed it. It was slippy. Obviously, it'd been raining relentlessly for hours. I think it was just one of them. I think he went in to slide and make full connection with the ball, but he just made connection with the top of the ball, and his foot just followed through, studs into the leg of the Mexico player. It's a red card. I don't think anybody's going to argue with it. I don't quite see how the referee missed it, which seems to be a common theme. Seems to be a common theme. I mean, I should say that I actually don't think the referee did a bad job last night. Well, and with the help of VAR, he got all the big decisions right.
Yeah, and that's what VAR is for.
That was a red card. England's was a penalty. Mexico's was a penalty. Yeah, I've got no.
Best thing could have happened that England go and get that penalty straight after the red card.
Exactly that. So get a red card, and then a minute or so later they've got a penalty. Yeah. 3-1. Kane dispatches expertly. And you think, right, can we just breathe, please? Because, by the way, it's 3 o'clock in the morning or whatever it was. And everybody's been up for several hours. No. 9 minutes later, back come Brazil. 9 minutes later, and
Mexico.
Sorry, Brazil. Did I say Brazil? Yeah. You see, this is what I've been up for about 28 hours, I think. Back came Mexico, and it was an unfortunate penalty, but again, I think it was a penalty.
It was clearly a penalty.
I was quite surprised to see the commentary, the UK commentary, which we watched on the BBC. Alan Shearer, of course, legendary England striker, say, adamantly, it's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. I'll tell you what, if that's been at the other end, and Harry Kane's getting a kick from one of the Mexico players like that, he'll be screaming for a penalty.
It was a penalty. So, I mean, it's very, very clear.
Well dispatched by Jimenez, and then that set up the last 20 minutes plus 12, as it was in the end,
half an hour
of just attack versus defence.
The Alamo.
11 versus 10. And what I loved about England is the substitutes that came on were phenomenal. I mean, we've heard a lot, haven't we, about Thomas Tuchel talking about the brotherhood, and he did a lot of this when he picked his squad, and there was a lot of controversy about his squad. But he was saying one of the reasons I picked is because they are all together, and whether you are playing and starting or not playing or coming on at the end or having, like Dan Burns, a good example, not having played at all, but then suddenly we're calling upon you. They come into the team as if their life depends on it. There's no sulking, there's no bad attitude, there's none of that kind of thing. And we needed that because Spence came on for O'Reilly, Byrne came on for Anderson, Stones came on for Saka. 3 defenders. We played a back 5 with only 3 ahead.
But this is the clever thing, isn't it, about the switching and having the flexibility to switch the formation for a specific period of time.
Yeah,
a particular circumstance.
And no, for sure. And I'm not. This is not with the benefit of hindsight because I said it at the time. With about 5 or 6 minutes to go, I was quite relaxed because I just thought they're not going to. Mexico
didn't look like they were ever going to score, did they?
No, they had run out of ideas. They were very tired. All they were doing was just lumping balls in the box, and all we were doing was clearing them with relative ease. Yeah. There was one moment when there was a bit of a scramble, and John Stones stuck it behind for a corner. Beyond that, I don't think we were troubled. Pickford didn't look troubled. Dan Byrne, I thought, was brilliant when he came on. Stones did a good job. Spence did a very good job, and I thought that you know what, it's going to take a 30-yard screamer or somebody to have an absolute horrible mistake in them. And other than that, we're all right.
Mexico will be disappointed, I think, with that last half an hour. Obviously, with a man advantage, with the crowd behind them, that they couldn't have. They didn't really. I mean, Pickford didn't have to pull off any worldies, did he, to keep us in at the last half an hour?
No, there were just a couple of kind of scrambly type bits and balls turned around.
Mexico, Mexico would have been very disappointed with that.
But their strengths are.
They had us on the ropes for 30 minutes.
They did, but what they don't have is players who can do anything other than what they did, i.e. cross it and head it, and they're not a team that's going to play through the middle or tick-a-tacker around the edge of the box and try and open you up like a Spain might. They're all about power and purpose and speed.
They're all about the transition. Essentially, we played like Ghana for 30 minutes, and they played like England.
Yeah, I mean, look, we played like Ghana out of necessity. Let's just make that distinction.
Absolutely,
Ghana didn't have to play like that
because we had 10 players. The great thing is we won that. That's like a battle within a battle, and we won that mini battle, and That's what got us into the next round.
Yeah, amazing.
If they'd scored and gone 3-3, they would have won.
And then the story. Yes, I think you're probably right. I think. Well, I don't know. I just thought we looked so.
I think it would have completely. Yeah, I think it would have completely deflated us. We would have had 100,000 people on us. They would have gone and won.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, the story wasn't done then, was it? Because we had then the final whistle, and all the England players went mad. And Jordan Henderson jumping over an advertising board, having congratulated fans, broke his wrist. So he's out for the tournament.
In quite a nasty way, I think, as well.
Yeah, he's out for the tournament. I mean,
thanks for coming, Jordan. I hope you enjoyed your holiday.
Well, he had a good 18 minutes or so against one of the teams in the group games. And yeah, I mean, look, it's unfortunate. It's a bit stupid. It's not stupid, is it? It's not stupid. That's ridiculous. You can't criticise.
It's an accident.
It's just an accident, and I feel for him because he might still have had a part to play in the coming games here or there.
I don't
5
think
minutes
so.
here.
I don't think so.
And Harry Kane. If you haven't seen Harry Kane's interview on the BBC,
that was like Aled Jones singing.
It is the
something in the
funniest
air,
thing.
wasn't it? He was doing his falsetto, wasn't he? All of it, like Frankie Valli.
Imagine if you're a man listening to this, or if you're a woman who's got teenage boys. Remember those days where your voice was just breaking and it went from very deep to very high. And, Harry Kane's voice had gone at that stage, and it's brilliant because he's just.
Imagine what it's like today, because it was worse the day after. I mean, he sounded like he'd just had a vasectomy with a rusty knife. It was terrible, but funny because I mean, Kane's got a funny accent at the best of times. When he's doing it as a soprano, it's even funnier.
Yeah, no, you're right. So listen, massive congratulations for England. Everybody over here is saying it's the most impressive World Cup performance since we won it.
Unless
1996,
you're in Scotland.
1966 even. Huh?
Unless you're in Scotland.
Well, when I say over here, I'm obviously talking about England. I don't think the Welsh or the Scots are. I saw a picture today. I think it was the Central Square in Glasgow of some Scottish rebel, no doubt, on a horse, which had been bedecked in Viking horns and the Norway flag.
It didn't take them long to sell the sombreros, did it?
Well, I was going to say, first of all, they had to take off the sombrero and everything else. But everybody is saying over here that it's the best performance since we won it. I can't think of a better. The only victory that I can think of that was a similar kind of proper jaw-dropping win, if you remember it, wasn't a World Cup win. It came in the Euros in 1996 when we beat the Netherlands 4-0, when Shearer scored twice and Sheringham scored twice.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And Gaza ran the show.
And didn't we beat Argentina fairly when Michael Owen scored that great goal at the World
Cup?
But
that was not on a par. Yeah, when Michael Owen did that, that was a great goal. But that wasn't on a par last night.
No, this was an amazing performance. Considering that's only the third loss in 75 games in the Azteca.
Yeah. Yeah,
fantastic.
And so well done.
And so whatever happens from here on in, England have done all right.
Exactly that. And well done, by the way. Well done to Mexico for hosting. A great hosting of the World Cup. Great stadium, great atmosphere. I thought they played really well last night. They really added to the game. And the most terrifying thing, Ken, for you and I, is that Raul Jimenez will be facing Wrexham and Derby next season in the English Championship, and he looks, coming from Premier League Fulham to Championship Wolves.
He won't, Nick. After this performance, he'll be playing for Bayern Munich or someone.
Well, he's already signed for Wolves. He's signed.
Well, he'll be signing for someone else by the end of this. he looks really sharp.
He's looked brilliant all World Cup, didn't he? The header that Pickford clawed out the top corner was a brilliant header.
And the one,
and there was another one, the diving header at the near post.
Early on, I mean,
he was unlucky not to get.
He looks really sharp.
Get a goal out.
Well done, England, and well done, Mexico.
Yeah, great game, really, really great game. I did enjoy, by the way, the game before that, which was the Brazil-Norway game.
Oh, what a game!
I thought it was terrific. I really enjoyed it.
Well, so what was your take on Brazil then? Let's just deal with that.
My take on Brazil was they've arguably, I think they've gone out at the right stage for how they've performed in this competition, and I thought Norway were the stronger side, and I think Brazil. We know what a poor qualifying campaign they had. I think Carlo Ancelotti has done as good a job as he could have done.
I think he would have expected more.
With what he had at his disposal. But I'm not sure. Well, I disagree because I'm not sure with the players he's got what better he could have done other than not play.
They're not a great team, are they? They remind me of the 1974 Brazil team, which was really ordinary after being amazing.
Yeah, I mean that midfield of Guimaraes and Casemiro.
He got overrun a couple of times.
Yeah. And Paquetá was in there some games, but it was kind of a 4-2-4 sometimes. And Vinicius Junior lit up. He carried them for the first few games.
Yeah.
And then when he stopped carrying them, they didn't really have a lot.
No, they're a very ordinary team, actually.
Even saying that though, Guimaraes missed a penalty earlier on in the game.
We've got to talk about that.
Okay, let's talk about it. Go on.
Of all the stuttering penalties I've seen in this World Cup, that was the worst. Because not only did he stutter, he planted his feet. He virtually sat down. He lost all his momentum. He virtually started again then from a yard off the ball and could get no power. And as long as the keeper was anywhere near to being right, he was going to save that. It was a terrible penalty.
Yeah, not only that, but you're right. By the time he'd stuttered and almost stopped, his body shape meant he didn't have any momentum to do anything except kick it exactly where he was looking. Yeah. Therefore, it's an easy save for the keeper. He didn't have the momentum behind him to whip it into the other corner.
No. I just don't know why the fashion for this stuttering thing is developed.
And I was very pleased to see, by the way, Harry Kane, who missed a penalty in one of the group games. Who was it against? I can't remember. By doing that stuttery run up. Yeah. Croatia wasn't the first game. Yeah. And then it got retaken because of encroachment and then just ran up and smashed it. When he took his penalty last night, he just ran up and smashed it.
He's not done it since. There's certain things in football which come into fashion and there's no absolute benefit for them. The other one is zonal marking. No one has ever said to me, wow, the only reason that wasn't a goal is because of the zonal marking.
I totally agree with you.
No one's ever said that.
Because zones don't score goals.
No.
Bizarrely enough. Players do.
But it's a thing. It's a football tactical thing. Yeah. But I've never heard a single person argue in its favour. I've never heard anyone argue in their favour of stuttering run-ups.
No.
I don't know why it's become a thing. Anyway.
No. But football was like that, wasn't it? Football was like that. I was very pleased to see. Sorry, just going back on England, but I think Norway were kind of the same. There's also we're not seeing loads and loads of just playing out for the back and farting around with it out of the back. Lots of teams are just getting a goal in and just booting it, winning it high up the pitch and playing from there. And we've suddenly got the current trend at the moment, isn't it? Is the free kick? Sorry, is the kick-off where it goes straight to the goalie who just wallops it. Yeah, for like a rugby kick. Like a rugby kick to get ground and to try and box the opposition up the high pitch. I've got no problem with any of that. Call me a Philistine, I've got no problem with any of that. I don't understand why teams want to play out from the back if they're no good at it.
No, I mean, and there's only very few teams and very few players who are good at it. So the risk-reward ratio is massively against. So Brazil, Norway did well and.
Yeah, Norway. I thought Norway I thought they looked the more threatening team. I thought they looked the more composed team. Brazil just looked a little bit scattergun. And whilst you've got Haaland on your team, you're going to score goals, and he scored 2 brilliant goals yesterday. He was the first one. You don't make a mug out of Gabriel. Let me tell you that. Very often.
Well, he made himself look like a bit of a mug, didn't he? Because he wasn't. I mean, he wasn't tight enough to him.
Anyway, no, he wasn't on his toes enough. Okay. Yeah, and he knew. You could see it on his face. He knew.
Oh yeah.
And then Haaland's second goal, which was just a zinger into the corner from the edge of the box.
Yeah, that's great. But they gave him too much space.
Yeah,
there was no one else in the box. They could come out to him, close them down. There's no threat behind. So
yes,
they made some bad decisions in defence. But and then I thought they were pretty similar level teams actually.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, yeah, okay.
But the difference was Haaland. The difference was Haaland.
Yeah. Neymar came on and scored what will it be his last World Cup? Scored a goal. Yeah. Behaved a bit like a petulant child for much of his little stint on the pitch, but did get a goal.
Do you think, by the way, that was just a sentimental thing? And if it was, what the hell is that about? Because you shouldn't be making sentimental decisions. Did he bring Neymar on just for sentimental reasons? We're 2-0 down, or whatever we were at that point. He were 2-0 down. Go and say your last goodbyes. Is there any place for that?
No. I'll tell you why. And sorry if you just heard a boom on my microphone.
That was the cat.
That was the cat coming. You just see his tail probably now.
His tail. I hope it was his tail.
Hello, Ralph. Yeah. He might be hearing purring. Look, he's purring away. I'll tell you why. Because Neymar did come on, and Brazil got a penalty, and he scored.
Mm.
And this is not a Neymar thing. Anybody could have scored the penalty. But what happened was then they had about 2 or 3 minutes where suddenly Norway thought the game was over, obviously, because it was 90 plus 10 when the penalty went in.
Yeah.
And you just think, right, we'll blow up. But no, the referee sort of gave it another kind of couple of minutes almost.
A couple of minutes, yeah, 2.5.
And they could have equalised because they had another attack where the ball had an opportunity to put the ball in the back of into the area. And they could have equalised. We saw it with Belgium, didn't we, against Senegal, where the game ain't dead till
it's over.
But maybe Ancelotti, maybe it wasn't that. Maybe Ancelotti thought, no, he can make a difference. And
maybe,
I don't know.
I'm not so sure.
No, I don't know. I don't know because I don't know who else he could have brought on. That's my point. You obviously need to bring on a striker, and then I don't know. Hendrick's already on the pitch. I mean, Rafinha's on the bench, so he could have brought on Rafinha, I suppose. Instead, maybe it was just a sentimental goodbye.
I'm almost certain it was.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe.
But right, okay, I'm going to read an advert. The Reg World Cup 26 podcast is partnered with Bionique, the world's most personalised supplements, because your body's unique, and because, without knowing exactly what your body needs, taking off-the-shelf supplements might mean you're not getting enough of the nutrients you do need, maybe too many of the ones you don't. So Bionique provide 100% tailor-made supplements. Imagine that, specifically designed for your body. So click on the show notes, click on the link, get 50% off your first order.
It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.
It's still 0-0 between Portugal and Spain.
Oh, there you go. And it's half an hour in. That doesn't matter because by the time this podcast goes out, the game will have been done. So it doesn't really matter. We're not broadcasting live.
No, well, we are.
Only to you and me.
Yeah, but it's
and the cat.
Yeah, but I still think Spain are going to win that 3-0. Anyway,
come
on. What's on your mind, Nick?
Get in touch with us. Road to World Cup 26 at gmail.com. We like to hear from you. We have had some other correspondence in the last 24 hours.
We're getting a lot of letters in.
Well, one of which was a lengthy comment calling you a complete moron, which I quite enjoyed.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to send letters in.
It was just one of the comments left on Spotify.
Thanks.
Called you a moron for your constant dissing of Harry Kane. And the only alarming thing about it is that he kind of tarred me with your brush, which was a bit disappointing, really, because anybody who's listening to this podcast knows how much I rate Harry Kane and how much you don't.
Yeah, and I've had humble pie on Harry Kane. Was it signed H. Kane? Or was it actually signed H. Kane?
I think it was signed K. Davies.
No, it was not.
So anyway, right. Let's get around to a bit of news. Major story breaking today as Donald Trump confirms that he phoned Gianni Infantino, the FIFA president, and essentially asked him, in brackets, told him, who knows, close brackets, to overturn Folarin Balogun's red card to allow him to play against Belgium in a game that's later on today. This story broke sort of late yesterday when FIFA announced that the red card that Balogun received in the last game for, I thought it was harsh. I don't know. Everybody's got a view on it. I thought it was a bit harsh. Was being, quote, suspended, unquote. And therefore he was free to play against Belgium in the last 16. It then emerged that FIFA had been lobbied long and hard by senior American officials, which culminated in, indeed, President Trump today saying in a press conference, yes, I also had several telephone calls with Gianni Infantino about it and asked him to to reverse the red card, and lo and behold, where we are. Here we are, Ken. What are your thoughts?
Well, start at the beginning. It's always a good place to start, which is when we saw the that foul or that sending off. I'll be honest, I thought it was a terrible decision to send him off. I thought it was just an accident, and you did too. So he was extremely unlucky to get sent off for what was really just an accidental coming together. Absolutely no intent, absolutely no violence, absolutely. It was a foul, but it was an accidental foul, and that was it.
Before you get into your rhythm here, let me just say something, if I may. In the laws of the game, intent doesn't come into it. And we've talked a lot about this, and a lot of people say we didn't mean it. In the laws of the game, intent has no consequence whatsoever. It is whether or not you are putting the safety of your opponent in jeopardy, for want of a phrase. That's not the actual wording, but you know what I mean. And then you have to take into consideration, and this is why I think it's very harsh, things like excessive force, and the nature of the incident, if you like. Yeah. Was it violent conduct? Was it excessive force? Was there brutality involved? Yeah. That kind of thing.
Well, I think the answer to that is like no.
No, I agree with you. No, I still agree with you for all those reasons. Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
So it was very harsh, but that doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter because he's been sent off. And as we discussed at length, actually, when we did the podcast straight after that, there's no recourse. And that's what we've lived with that for 30 years. And there is no recourse. And so you've got to play by the rules. And they are the rules. They may be harsh sometimes. They're imperfect, fine. But you can't change the system for a particular situation like this. So clearly, pressure's been applied. And for Trump to come out and say that is one stupidity of the highest order anyway. And I'm sure Infantino is absolutely distraught with what Trump said. And it might well be, as Trump has claimed, that actually the decision had nothing to do with that call, and Infantino had no bearing on the decision. Well, none of us believe that because of other things which has happened up to this point where the axis between Trump and Infantino seem to have made things happen. So it might just be an incredible coincidence. It might be, but it's not. So actually, I think it's a disgrace. I think it signals. I was thinking, funny enough, before all this happened, that everything had died down a little bit. When I was watching the game last night, I was thinking, well, there hasn't been all this thing about the police raiding things, and deporting people and all that. That's all gone, And I thought the whole thing had calmed down. And actually, this is going to be viewed as a very, very good World Cup. And then this happens, absolutely unnecessarily. So I think it's terrible that it's happened. I think it marks a low point in FIFA's managership of the sport. Infantino should. It's a sacking offence, in my opinion. I mean, Infantino, I'm sure, didn't look for that. But in a sense, Trump would have rang him anyway. But the fact that the optics of it are just so terrible that I think Infantino's got to go. The other thing I would mention, the final thing I'd mention, is that not only has that changed, something else has changed, which is that now Belgium can appeal. So Belgium can appeal, and opponents can appeal about a disciplinary that had absolutely nothing to do with them, but they're a future opponent, so they get a view on it. That's ridiculous.
Well, they don't, because the latest bit of this story, which is broken in the last couple of hours, is that the attempted appeal has been rejected, and the wording essentially says this has got nothing to do with you, Belgium, therefore you're not allowed an opinion on it.
Well, if that is the case, they've got that bit right, because it has nothing to do with Belgium. But the fact of the matter is, Balogun shouldn't be allowed to play, and I think everybody now wants Belgium to win. It's just a horrible situation, and it's actually, that is the strongest thing I've ever seen of political interference in the World Cup, and it's a disgrace. And we should everybody who's interested in the sport and the fairness of sport should rail against it.
Yeah. So let me just read out what, because there was a suggestion, wasn't there, earlier on in the day, going and stretching into last night, that Belgium would be allowed to appeal.
Yeah, that was absolutely what was said by FIFA.
And they lodged a formal objection. FIFA's appeal committee, let me just read you what they said. They have said their appeal or objection is inadmissible on the grounds that, quote, the RBFA, which is the Royal Belgian Football Association, is not a party to the proceedings and as such has no standing to appeal the decision. The RBFA said that further actions, quote unquote, were still open to the federation. Well, they better hurry up because the game's in a few hours.
Yeah, well, he's going to play, isn't he? And but it's awful. It's dreadful, absolutely dreadful. And this will leave a stain on this World Cup. And this World Cup has been a great World Cup. It's been a great World Cup. It'll
leave a stain on the World Cup, but you're going to have to find room for it because there's lots of other stains that are competing for it. The whole ticket thing, the whole ticketing thing, the whole hotel thing, the whole transport thing, the whole Iran thing, the whole Trump Peace Prize thing at the start, the whole FIFA attitude towards everything, which just seems to be about money grabbing and no concern for the supporters. There's many a stain on this World Cup, which is a shame because the football's been brilliant. The stadiums are unbelievably brilliant.
Do you think UEFA are going mad about this? Clearly, aren't they?
Yeah, UEFA are going mad about it, and actually, lots of football federations have written in to complain about it. Because
do you think Infantino will survive this?
Well, let me come to that in a moment. But Thomas Tuchel, for example, in the wake of Quancha's red card last night for England, quite rightly in a press conference said, "Well, can we appeal this then?"
Yeah. Who is appealing exactly? Who is? Because my understanding is that America didn't appeal, did they?
No, you don't have to. But look. Do you remember a few months ago when we were talking about Cristiano Ronaldo potentially missing the first two games of the group stages of the World Cup because he'd been sent off in Portugal's last game?
Yeah.
And FIFA decreed.
Yeah.
I think using the same law, decreed that actually no, we're going to suspend that for a year. Which is exactly what they've done with Balogun. They've suspended that red card for a year on the basis that, like any suspended sentence, it'll go away if you don't reoffend. So,
but that's just on a whim, though, isn't it? That's just on a whim. There's no precedent for that.
No, but there is. But there is something
him to play.
No, but there is something in the FIFA rules which says that if this particular committee decides to act and do something like this, it has the power to do so.
Yeah, but this committee doesn't sit every time there's a red card.
No.
Prompted that committee to sit down and think about this, and the Ronaldo one. That's just a political pressure thing. It's crazy, isn't it?
I mean, yeah. So look, it's happened to Ronaldo. One of two of the most high-profile players in the world, and it's happened to American striker in America after a conversation with the president of the United States.
They should never be allowed to. So they should be disbarred from the competition. But it says in FIFA. No. It says in FIFA's rules, if any nation or if any nation seeks to impart political pressure on any part of the football team, they are automatically disqualified from FIFA. And there's been plenty who have, because a team just wasn't it? There was a team a couple of months ago who was done for that reason. This should happen to the USA.
Gosh, USA kick out the competition.
They should be kicked out of the tournament because of political pressure being applied from politics. You're not allowed to do it in FIFA's rules. We know there's teams that don't qualify for FIFA World Cup because of the political influence of their politicians on their football team. Now, it's time for FIFA to stand up and do the right thing, but they won't.
I think, like in this instance, I would not agree with the US men's national team being kicked out of the competition. This has got nothing to do with them.
Well, it never has anything to do with the football team. It's always about the politicians.
Yeah.
It's never the footballers asking for the politicians to get involved.
No, but therefore, why punish the football team? Why punish the country?
Because you're punishing that nation for allowing political influence to take part in what should be a sport that's free of political influence. That's the punishment, and that's the punishment it should be applied now, but it never will.
No, it won't. It won't. Okay, to answer your question, will Infantino survive all of this? I think probably yes, because there's nobody in any position to get rid of him. He's the president of FIFA. He's up for re-election soon. He's standing unopposed as things stand. So unless somebody opposes him and stands against him,
I'm going to oppose him.
That'd be good, mate.
Yeah,
I'll be your running mate. I'll be your running mate and help you.
I don't know. I don't know. I've got a few other people to see, mate. Actually, before I choose.
Okay, what? Oh, sorry. Yeah, Ravi the cat.
Your cat. Yeah, your cat's slightly ahead of you because he purrs and he's got a tail.
True. Yeah. Which, let's face it, are absolute prerequisites for a political running mate.
He's better qualified than Infantino, who has neither a tail or purrs.
I bet he purrs when he's in Donald Trump's
house. So there you go. So we'll survive.
So what odds, mate? What odds of Balogun playing and scoring against Belgium today?
Pretty low. In the sense of there will be. I think that will happen.
Yeah, of course it will happen.
Please win, Belgium. And if Belgium do win, of course, all the host nations are out.
Yes, in one fell swoop, the host nations go.
Yeah.
Right. Very good. Okay. Well, that brings an end to this impromptu podcast because
we were proper on the soapbox there, weren't we?
We were, and we only decided to do this about an hour ago because I felt that we couldn't let the England game pass and we couldn't let this story pass. And by the time Wednesday comes around, lots more will have happened.
Yeah,
and I reckon we'll hear a bit more about this story as well.
Yeah, look forward to it. But yeah, I'm rarely exercised about these kind of things, but I'm properly cross about that.
Yeah, I think the only thing that can do for Infantino is probably the media. If the media get up a real head of wind, they're probably the only people who can bring down Infantino.
More power to the media then. We'll do our bit.
We'll do our bit. Very good. Right. Wednesday night, we're back in the show, back in the saddle. And by then, we'll know exactly who all the quarterfinalists are. And we'll be looking forward to the games on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Well, no, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's no game Wednesday night. Ken, will be watching England versus Norway in a bar in Spain.
Will you?
Yeah,
I don't even know when it is. When's it on?
Saturday night, 9 o'clock.
Oh, 9
word. 9 o'clock our time. 9 o'clock our time, UK time.
9 o'clock our time.
Which will be 10 o'clock Spain time. And what? Wherever it is in the US. I don't know where the game's on.
That'll be great. We'll definitely watch that then.
Thank goodness it's not 3 a.m. like yesterday's was.
Yeah. That's
this whole country is knackered. Right about now, this whole country is going to bed.
I was in Manchester this morning at about 9 o'clock. There was hardly anyone there.
Yeah.
There you go. Very good. Right. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Ken. And until we speak again, look after yourselves, look after each other. Goodbye.
Au revoir.
It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.